Today's Sunday, the 26th of April. Welcome back, everybody. Tomorrow is the first day of the new term, and we're going back to a fairly different term to what we normally do at the start of term 2. The Minister for Education has told us that the first 2 days this term will be school development days. So there'll be no remote learning or no delivery of teaching materials for Monday or for Tuesday. And then Wednesday we'll enter regular term time. However, it will look much like we did at the end of term 1. So the Premier is continuing to ask that parents who can keep students at home continue to do so for the rest of week 1 and week 2. We will continue to support you via our regular phone calls and also by the online learning materials for the students who are in years 3 through 6, and for the students who are in preschool through to year 2. We'll be organising a doorstep exchange of materials on Wednesday. So we're going to come around. If you can leave the materials that are completed along with all the home readers and the other materials outside your letterbox, we will take that, take it back to school for marking, and we will leave behind for you further supplementary materials that will keep you going through until the end of week 2. And so the first couple of weeks are going to look very much like the end of term 1 finished up. There's been an enormous amount of media attention which has been flying around, and the Department of Education has a feed on our school website. So down below this video, you can see that there's some materials around what school is going to look like, and we now have a phased return to get kids back to school. We don't know the time frame though, we just know the phases, and there is a document that's down below me on this website today. So currently we're in phase 0. So phase 0 is where most of the kids are at home and they're learning. School is still open. However, there's only one model of education, and that is remote. So even if kids are at school, they're not being taught in a traditional way. They'll be supported to engage with materials that they would otherwise be engaging with at home. On the 11th of May, we move into phase 1. So phase 1 will be 25% of the students will attend school each day, and I'm going to have to work out what that looks like, and that's going to be my job for early this week. And I'm going to be putting students into some sort of family groups and communicating with you to let you know on which day will your family be coming to school. Now, on those days, and we're talking about from the start of the 11th of May, so that's the start of week 3, on that day, we'll have a lot of different protocols at school. We're not going to be encouraging families to come in. There'll be a kiss and a drop sort of setup. Students will come in. We'll have to think very carefully about how lunchtimes and recess works to limit the number of students mingling at the same time. I don't envisage we're going to have more than 10 students per class, and we'll still have a lot of the staff will be working remotely and will be engaging with you in the way they have been over the last couple of weeks of school. The students who are at school, while they will have teacher support, will still be engaged in that same model of learning. So the actual learning for the kids won't change. It's just that we're trying to slowly build up our student numbers at school. What we are going to have to make sure, though, is that we're very, very mindful of how we operate the school site. So even though all research is telling us that the risk of infection between children and children or children and adults is fairly small, the risk of infection between adults is quite a different story. And at the moment, we have around 63 to 65 staff at school. We have over 750 parents. So you put that many adults into the same group, that does create the potential for spread of coronavirus, and that's what we're really trying to avoid. So for now, while we're in phase 0, and as we move into phase 1, we are asking adults to stay off the school site. If you need to communicate with school, phone service is the way to do it. So give us a telephone call, email through to the school's website. You should be communicating with the children's teachers twice a week anyway, so a lot of those learning inquiries can be picked up through those conversations. And our real agenda, of course, is to make sure that everyone's safe, everyone's well, and that we're controlling everything as best we can. One of our big concerns at the moment is around getting the kids back in a way that's safe, but we also need to keep in contact with our students. But we're also, at the same time, trying to make sure that we're limiting the number of adults at the one time that are on our site. So that's sort of how everything's going. Hopefully by now you've had a great holiday. Now I know you've been at home and you've not driven each other crazy. You probably put a lot of time into watching YouTube videos and watching Netflix and all those other sorts of fun things. Your bronze badges and certificates should have arrived by now. We are in the process of reviewing our school website to see exactly what materials you need on there, so we'll continue to do that. The calendar is up to date. It's fairly empty because we have had to postpone any school excursions, overnight camps, assemblies and that sort of stuff. So we're not really sure what happens with that. We need to see how long we're going to be in phase 1 or phase 2, etc. of the managed return to school. But as soon as we have information about that, we will keep you in the loop. This video is going to be posted on our school website, and I'm about to send an SMS link out to the community. So if you're talking to people and they haven't got an SMS from us today, what that will mean is that we don't have their correct phone details, although we have been pretty good at keeping them updated as we've been trying to phone you. If you don't get the message, it means you need to contact the office, give us your details. I will publish another video in a couple of days' time once I've worked out what the managed return to school looks like for you and your families, and my intention will be to actually put that in the post that will explain how that's going to happen. I want that to get out to you this week so that you've got a bit of a heads up about what's happening. But at the moment, we are asking students to stay at home where possible. There is still supervision at school, as there was at the end of term 1, but at home is the best and safest option for everyone. Just at the moment, come the 11th of May, we'll have a quarter of our students at school every day in family groups, and I'll be devising a bit of a system of what that looks like to keep you in the loop. Until then, thank you.